All right. Barakadah Yahweh, Barakadah Yahweh Shah, Barakadah Yahweh, Barakadah Yahweh Shah, Barakadah Yahweh, Barakadah Yahweh Shah, Kol Haloyim, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles of GMS who rule and teach well, and peace and salutations to the 144,000 hopeful elect. Today's topic is going to be called Only Israel. So I pulled a few scriptures just that clearly states that this thing right here is only for Israel, only for Yasha'ah, the Israelites. People always try to speak on how salvation is for everybody, but like I said, the scriptures say that clearly don't state that. So first thing I want to do is go to John 3:16, because that's everybody's favorite when they speak on it, And John 3:16 says, "For God, I'll do it in layman's terms. For God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in Him should not perish, but have everlasting life." Now, everybody, all the brothers know, but for the people that don't, that word world, when you go into the Greek, is cosmos, and that means a selective ordinance. So that doesn't mean everybody. It's speaking of the world of Israel, So I just wanted to get that out the way before I get into, the scriptures that clearly state that this thing is just for Israel. We got We got Ezekiel 3:4, and it reads, "And he said unto me, Son of man, go get thee unto the house of Israel, and speak with my words unto them." So that's right there, the house of Israel. And verse 5 says, "For thou art not sent to a people of strange speech and of an hard language, but to the house of Israel." So, that's one right there. We could go to Matthew. We could go to Jeremiah real quick. We could go to Jeremiah 51:19. And this reads, "The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. The Lord of hosts is his name." That says the rod of his inheritance. So, that the inheritance of Yahweh Shah. Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. So that's two right there, I'm just gonna pull a script. This ain't no deep lecture or nothing. I'm just gonna pull it out. Let me go to Matthew. Oh. We could go to Matthew 10. And 5. And it reads, "These 12 Yahweh Shah sent forth, and commanded them, saying, Go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not." Verse 6, "But go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel." And what that is the Israel foreigners, all the Israelites by blood that are in that take on Greek customs or Roman customs, That's the lost sheep of the house of Israel, Just bear with me. Okay. All right, this is Amos 3, Amos chapter 3, verse 1. "Hear this word that the Lord hath spoken against you. O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, You only have I known of all the families of the earth. I'll bring that back, verse 2. You only have I known of all the families of the earth. So that means all the nations, out of all the 18 nations. Israel, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities. So that means he gave us the law, statutes, and commandments, and we went off. So we got to deal with the punishment. That's what's that 4 I just gave out. I'm gonna keep going. So as this thing is only for Israel, and people try to slither their way into it. They try to draft their way into it, and that's just not what the Most High wanted. So. But if you are not of that nation, of course, when you find out that salvation isn't for you, that's a tough thing to deal with, So they try to slither their way in. So give me a second. Okay, I know where I'm going. Hey, this is Isaiah 45. So I don't got my glasses on me, so bear with me. Isaiah 45 and 17. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end. I'll run that back. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. So that right there says salvation is for Israel. It didn't say Amalek. It didn't say Edom. It didn't say Moab. It didn't say Japheth. Ham, none of that. It says Israel. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end. I think that right there just, what is that? Isaiah 45 and 17 right there says it right there. Everlasting salvation. I'm going to go get a couple more. Alright, and this is Acts 2 and 21. And it shall come and it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be saved. Ye men of Israel, hear these words. Yahushua of Nazareth, a man approved of Yahweh among you by miracles and wonders and signs, which Yahweh did by him in the midst of you, as ye yourselves also know. And that says, ye men of Israel, hear these words. So when, you're on verse 21, it says, and it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call in the name of the Lord shall be saved. And, if I could give a little example of that, say we all work at a factory. Factory has different departments. And say the boss walks in the printing department, and the boss says, hey, whosoever want to work a couple hours after the shift is over, you can. Is the boss talking to the whole building, or is he talking to the printing department? He's talking to the printing department, So he was talking to a select group, So that should cut that, when people always try to say whosoever. Because verse 22, it says, ye men of Israel, hear these words, Let me go back to John. Yeah, John 17.